Hi there, welcome to my cooking class. Today's Thursday, and as you can see, the cook is also on vacation because we're using Epicure and we're going to go out in the outdoors and enjoy the sunshine because it is summer in Canada. So today I want to introduce you to Za'atar. This is a fabulous blend that you may not know about, but I'm going to highly recommend. Smell it. Oh, honestly, it is heavenly. I'm going to share some fun food facts for you. But let's get started on the marinade, and then I can share that while we're skewering because that sometimes takes a little bit of time. So this is our 1 cup prep bowl. As you can see, it's got measuring graduations on here, and we are going to be making a marinade with this. I'm going to just fill to the lines. I've got it roughly about quarter cup of oil. I'm going to grab my 4-in-1 spoon. The flavoring on this is, oh gosh, it's Middle Eastern, Mediterranean maybe. I'm going to use about 1.5 tablespoons. And we're going to add some honey. Fun food fact on this, guys, if you have honey, you don't need to store it in the fridge. It'll be hard like a rock. But you should never put metal in your honey because it will make it crystallize. So I actually have this little honey bowl, and I'm roughly going to, love how I measure, right? It's just easier this way. I'm going to say that was roughly about, I'm going to say 1.5 teaspoons. Just want a little bit of sweetness in there. And then I want to add lemon. So make sure you wash your lemon. You're going to grab your 2-in-1 citrus press. We're going to also grab our ceramic knife. I've got our flexible cutting board here. Give this a little slice. We're not going to use the whole thing, but we are going to put our lemon in here. Of course, why do we have a green in here and a yellow? Well, guys, I don't think it's going to fit, right? No, it will not. So there is difference in sizing. It's just so that your product that you're putting in here, whether it's lemon or lime, sits in here properly. And remember, the holes are on the bottom, so you want to make sure you're inverting it inside out. The cut side goes into the direction of the holes. I was watching a cooking show the other day. They need to be watching my cooking classes because seriously, they did not do that. And then they're wondering why they're not getting all the juice out. Okay, so I roughly used about half a lemon. Let me just grab my spoon. So I'm just going to give this a little bit of a stir. I'm going to set this aside because I've already marinated my chicken last night, but I'm going to use this to marinate more and throw it in my freezer. So it's one of those busy rush days. I can just go into the freezer, pull out my marinated meat, and I can skewer it and have it done in a short period of time. So regarding our Za'atar, the flavor, it actually says brush this flavoring on pita with oil, olive oil, and shake it on and put it under and cook it, just warming it up. You can season or marinate olives in it. You can season any type of meat, vegetables, or kebabs. And I'm going to tell you, it's an amazing blend. You can see the sesame seeds in there. So let's get started with our making of our kebabs. So I'm using our round steamer. I'm going to use this again, so I can't understand why I would want to wash more dishes than just one. So I've got my chicken breasts in here. I have these marinating overnight, but you do not need to do them overnight. You can just marinate them for maybe 20 minutes, 15 minutes. That will probably work. My chicken, on the other hand, was frozen, and so I needed to thaw it. So I actually thawed them, cut them into chunks, and marinated them in the fridge overnight. So now they're actually thawed out that I can actually skewer them. These are our Grill Boss skewers. Love these. It's got, of course, the flat blade. It's got the pointy tip. And, of course, this is to help you slide the products off at the end. There we go. We're going to grab, and if you wanted to do, you know, veggies, let me just put this right on here so you can see. If you want to do veggies, you could do that. I'm actually going to do all meat today. I'm going to serve this with a rice pilaf, and we're going to drizzle it with a roasted garlic yogurt aioli. Okay, so we're just going to thread this all up. Because I'm doing all chicken, that's probably a portion already for one person. So you may want to realize that you don't need to have maybe more than 2 or 3 of these max on the barbecue, because it was going to feed your family of 4 without any problem at all. Okay, so we're just going to slide this down. Now you'll notice underneath me, for a couple reasons, you can see that this is a little drippy. I have got my big sheet pan with the liner. I think the liner is really important. I do not like having to do extra cleanup if I don't have to. So there we go. I've got one already done. Notice how I've set this right on top. So it's actually got a space, but it's resting. It's not sitting on a plate and dripping over the sides and, of course, making a big mess. So go ahead and do all your chicken that way. Okay? Simple, easy. It is. Skewers ready. My barbecue is heating up right now, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to be cooking this with. So as I mentioned before, we're going to be using a rice pilaf. And as you can see, I've got a little bit of marinade here with just little bits of chicken that, of course, I can't skewer because they're just too small. But I love the seasoning that's in here. This has been in the fridge, remaining chilled. So I am actually going to make a rice pilaf with the leftover marinade. So I've got 1 cup of washed rice. Okay, so rinse your rice to get rid of that additional starch. This makes for a nice, fluffy rice rather than something that will clump together because of the starch content. So what we'll do now is I've got our prep bowl here, and I'm adding 3/4 of a cup of water because I had probably, I'm gonna say a little bit over 1/4 of a cup of marinade still in here. Now you might be wondering, oh my gosh, can you cook rice in that marinade? Why wouldn't you? Think about it. It's been in the fridge, it's marinated, and I'm going to be putting this in the microwave for 8 minutes, steaming it, and you know steam is super, super hot. We're gonna steam this, and that marinade is just gonna add extra flavor. Time for us to get started with our drizzle. So what I've done here is I've got yogurt. This is plain yogurt, 2%. You can choose whatever yogurt you have. If you don't have yogurt and you're thinking, how can I do this drizzle? You could use mayonnaise, you could use sour cream. You may need to thin it out a little bit with any kind of milk that you want. So almond milk, oat milk, real milk, whatever, you decide. And we're going to add our roasted garlic aioli. The directions are right on the container. It says stir 1 tablespoon in a cup of mayo with a splash of lemon juice and let it sit for about 15 minutes. This is going to be perfect. As I mentioned, you may need to thin this out a bit. I would use a milk product of your choice. So as we're not using a whole cup, putting a full tablespoon is probably not what we want to do. The flavor in here is super intense. So using our 4-in-1 spoon, I'm going to flip this over to the 1 teaspoon. And it's a very full jar. You're certainly getting your values worth. And I'm going to add a full teaspoon in there. I had the lemon. Remember, I didn't use the full lemon when I was making my marinade. So you'll notice it's not totally squashed. So I just need a splash of lemon or lime in here to give that little bit of tang. That will also thin out your aioli. And we're just going to give this a stir. This is our this is our silicone knife. Gosh, and our rice is ready. How easy is that? If you've never made rice in the microwave, you really need to try it. I was actually in Calgary doing a season launch here the other day, introducing a new product, cooking a chicken in the microwave. There were 3 ladies there who had never tried it before. They saw it with their own eyes, putting a full chicken in there, cooking it in the microwave. I was using 22 minutes. I needed to make sure it got up to the value it was, and they tasted it. All 3 of them were sold. You'll never have a more juicy chicken, I promise. So we've got our marinade. We're going to let this set, like it said, aside for 15 minutes. Let's go out to the barbecue. Before I do that, let's see what our rice looks like. 1 second. Okay, you'll notice, maybe you can see the steam coming off here. We know that that marinade and that chicken that was in there is cooked. Are you ready? There you go, your rice pilaf, okay? So totally cooked, totally hot. It's got those extra flavors of that chicken with the za'atar already in there. Little bit of lemon, little bit of honey. Why wouldn't you use that marinade? So my chicken's not quite ready yet. I'm just gonna keep the lid on this, set it aside. Let's go out to the barbecue, get that chicken on, and get ready to rumble. Time for us to get onto the barbecue. So I've preheated the barbecue here, and we've got our kebabs ready to rumble. So you'll notice I love this. Of course, I don't like scratching up my stainless steel, but this is a roll-up rack. I keep this on the side. Makes it a little bit easy if you don't have a lot of room. Of course, that's very helpful as well, and it prevents things from sliding around. So we're just going to get these kebabs positioned. You can probably hear the sizzle already. Little piece of chicken fell off. That'll be my sample one. So we're just going to cook this, make sure that it's cooked on all sides. We're going to flip it around. I'm going to take off these gloves now. We're finished with the liquid, and I'm going to take this into the kitchen, quickly wash this. Check this out. The pan's still clean. Chicken is ready. Should probably show you my plate. So while this was just cooking on the barbecue, I've got a little bit of lettuce that I chopped up, of course our nice rice pilaf that was made with the leftover marinade, and I've chopped up some tomatoes. So this is an oblong plate, as you see. So when I grab this kebab, you're going to notice that it fits perfectly on here. Remember, if it doesn't fit, not a problem, because we can actually take the chicken pieces off. So with our roasted garlic aioli that we've made, that we've thinned out with a little bit of milk of your choice, we're just going to make a little drizzle over top here. Put it over top of some of our veggies, because this can be your replacement to your salad dressing. Of course, it's yogurt, so it's really healthy. And because people eat with their eyes, you might want to grab your ceramic knife. Maybe just get a few green onions. If you have parsley, you could totally do that. And we'll just sprinkle this on top. And then remember, Epicure's products are so low in sodium and sugar, and we really watch what we put in. You may want to add a little bit of flavor, extra flavor, with your SPG. So I'm just going to put a little dash on this on the top. This could be something that stays on your table at all times. So there you go, folks. This is your amazing Za'atar kebabs. Delicious every single time. So if you've never tried Za'atar, I would highly recommend. And again, I wish you had smell-o-vision. The seasoning So delicious. So thank you all for watching. We'll come back again here another Thursday and see what else I've got cooking in the kitchen or on the barbecue. Take care. Bye for now.